Coach Donnie Danklefsen in his 22nd year at the helm of Trine softball, getting ready for a new season. Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Looking back, you had a wildly successful season. Just about any team in the country would love to go 43-5 and host a super regional, but you didn't get out of that super regional. We lost at home 2 straight games. I'm sure that you've had time to reflect on that and what happened. What do you and your team take away from the way last season ended?
Well, we kept talking about just a life lesson. Yeah. You can't count your chickens till they're hatched. Nothing's given until it's taken.
Right.
And we just got a little complacent one day, and it cost us. And they played really well. I'm not taking away from them. I really have not watched the film yet. I'm still kind of just upset about how I do a good enough job getting prepared. And you kind of see it in the morning. Talking about Texas, and I said, guys, we're not there yet. And it just didn't have that same mindset. And then Mish didn't feel good, that didn't help. We just didn't execute a big plays. And I'm still not happy about the foul ball. It cost us 2 runs in the 7th. But you know what? We played a little better. That's come into play.
Right.
So I think we came back in great shape in the fall. Everybody passed the time mile for the 2nd straight year, which is a great sign. It's only happened twice, or second on third year. And they seem very, very focused this year to get back and hopefully finish the journey, not just talk about it.
So national championship the year before, tremendous run last year, and looking into this season, 2 big departures, Ellie Trine, one of your outfielders, and then your third baseman, Scarlett Elliott. How do you look at potentially filling those 2 holes?
I told them we're not going to play Scarlett.
Right.
We're not going to play a 4-year starter. The kid was as solid as anybody you can find in the country. But I think we have a really good opportunity to put people there to take that spot and learn and grow just like that. A freshman year, Scar wasn't a Scar, she was a senior, and that's what we have to compare to is Scar's a freshman year compared to who's coming there now. So we have a couple options. Macy Roca, who was an All-American at second base last year, is a natural third baseman. We're looking at maybe sliding her over, and a couple of the freshmen transfers playing second. So we have the pieces there. It's just gonna be fun to see where they go.
You've got so many pieces. I didn't think it was fair when you got Markham to add to Debbie Hill and that lineup that you have. And I got to imagine you sitting, whether it be at home or in your office, filling out this lineup card, and you're looking at the Joe Trines and the Emma Byers, right down the list, all this talent that you can put on the field. You got to be really excited to go into each and every game with that kind of talent.
We are. New coach this year on staff, and I kept telling him, hey, wait till you see our kids swing it. And, he kind of had in his mind, I think, what they would look like. And he's been at D1, he's been at NAI. And he walked in the first day and he goes, these are not D3 hitters.
Right.
And I said, no, they're not. I think we're as good as anybody 1 through 5 in the country. And then 6 through 9, we're still really good. Mm-hmm. So, that's not going to be our handicap for sure. I think we'll put runs up. I'm really confident that we'll be in top 5 in some of the major categories again offensively. But our lineup's going to be really, really fun to watch grow. We have some more speed. We added this year some 2 transfers and freshmen, so we have more lefties this year as long as speed. So it's going to be fun to watch it come together for sure.
Markham and Hill, the sheer power that they can play with, the game-changing power in the middle of that lineup. It's electric to watch. I know your fans love to watch those guys play, and just watching the way that Markham has fun during a softball game. She's dancing in the dugout. She's lifting up her teammates. There doesn't seem to be any ego with a kid like that at all. I just immediately became a fan of what not only Markham could do at the plate, but just what she brought in terms of chemistry to the team. Did you feel that way too?
Yeah, she's always upbeat. She's always in a good mood. The kid just loves softball. She is a cage junkie. Get out of the cage, that you're done.
Right.
But no, it's really fun watching those 2 interact because Debbie doesn't. If you don't know Debbie, she's actually really funny and really outgoing, but she kind of has this real dry sense of humor. And you put those 2 together, and it was really cool watching those 2 compete all year long and being really good friends. There's no jealousy who hits 11, who hits 14, who has first 150 RBIs. There's not a better 3-4 combination in the country, in my opinion, especially being both lefties. And both can change the game in one swing in a heartbeat. So they're in the same hitting group, and that group's a ton of fun, watching those 2 compete in the cage. And, it's just a lot of fun. You let go, and you just hope that net saves your life because they just crush it right back at you. It's going to be fun to watch those 2 continue to grow. Markham's only going to be a sophomore. Right. I think she's got a lot better swings ahead of her still.
Alexis Michon, Debbie Hill, you got Lauren Clausen back, really the top 3 pitchers on a really deep staff. From a pitching standpoint, you got to feel pretty good about the experience coming into the season.
We do. Pitching is one of if you have experience, you're pretty comfortable.
Right.
And obviously, Michonne is a student of the game. She's really smart. I mean, she spins it well. She throws hard, but defends it really well. And then Debbie. Debbie took last year pretty personal, and she came back in better shape. She was throwing hard in the fall. I mean, she was 64 consistent all fall, and she looks really good right now. And then Lauren has been lights out in the cage. And Lauren came and said, "I'm taking more innings this year." I said, "Lauren, there's nothing more I'd love to do is give you all the innings. You've been a great teammate for 5 years. Be selfish on the mound." So with those three, and then Alex and Mickey behind those, I mean, we have a really good staff. And Alex is healthy this year. She looks better. If she gets more confident from here to here, she could really help us. And Mickey's swinging it well. Might have been at first base at times and DH as well too. So yeah, our staff, I guarantee you we'll be able to hit, we'll be able to pitch. From there, we got to work from there.
Emma Byers will stay at shortstop. Yep. She's a versatile kid, moving from second to short. Bottom third of the lineup, but getting on base. And those bottom third kids, they set the table for the top of the order and the big hitters that are coming up. I've just been a fan of hers too. It just seems like in big moments she makes plays.
She does. Emma is the true competitor.
Yeah.
Anything we do in practice, I always kind of stack things against her so she loses more than anyone else, and she just gets so mad. And it's just fun. She's finally caught on what I'm doing.
Right.
But I'm always kind of giving her a little jab by taking shortcuts, and she does it, but it just drives her to another level. And she's by far the most outspoken kid in practice, holds everyone accountable, holds herself accountable. She's ready. She can't wait to get back on the field and get that next ground ball and make it out for us and move on. But yeah, she's just that kid that just is tough. She had off-season no surgery, and she didn't tell her doctor she played softball because she didn't want to be held out of practice. I mean, she's just tough.
Preseason #1 in the MIAA, number 10 in the country. In terms of the preseason voting. So the expectations are certainly high around the country again.
Yep.
I know you have your own expectations. Would you handicap the conference for us? We like to look around the league. Obviously, Calvin got us last year in a doubleheader.
Yep.
When you look around the conference, who are the teams that you're aware of could be potentially challenging?
Calvin, again, I think is right there.
Right.
Pitching's all back, catcher's back, third baseman's back. They're really tough. She does a great job with them. They're always disciplined. They play really well fundamental softball. Adrian's been right there the last 2 years. Pitching's all back again. They got one good transfer in. I talk to Fox all the time, so I kind of know what's going on there a little bit. I tell what's going on here as well. They're going to be tough. I think Hope will be better. They didn't lose much. Second-year coach. Then after that, I'm not real sure who everybody has. But obviously, I think Calvin and Adrian are going to be really tough.
So your wall at Park One Stadium with all of your championships, the Ubuntu, which is a slogan that you guys use as a rallying cry. I imagine you during the games, I know you're locked into the action, but maybe at just a second once in a while looking out there and seeing this team that you've built, and not just this year's team, but this program. And the pride that you must have adding to that wall year by year with your accomplishments year by year as you go through this. It's a testament to all your players, to all your assistant coaches, all the hard work you put into it. That wall's got to be awfully special to you, Donnie, because you've done so much to make those memories come alive.
Every time I walk out there, I kind of see what it was from day one, and I can see it now. And there's times where I almost get a little teary-eyed just because I know what's gone into this. You don't know all the hard work and all the times you've been out there for hours and the kids have done and donors have done on the backside to make this all possible. So every time I walk out there, I just realize how blessed we are to be here and how much fun it's been and how many friends I've made, memories I've made with these players and parents. And just watching it grow has been just an unbelievable journey.
You fired up? You ready?
Can't wait. We come out of the gate with number 2. We go 2 unranked, and the next day we go, I think it's 5 and 25, then we go 1 and 6. And then we get down to Florida, and every team we play was a regional opponent or an NCAA tournament, and it was 15 to 35 top 25 teams. So I think I saw in Massey ratings we're top 5 SOS, which is exactly what we need.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out right away where we are. And win or lose, we're going to prepare for hopefully a nice run at the end.
Can't wait to watch and support your team as you go along, and thank you so much for the time, man.
Thank you.
Good
Go
luck.
Thunder. Appreciate it.